Hi folks, this is Module 7, Physical Science, How to Identify Clouds. You'll be practicing this morning and night every day for a month with your long-term weather project. It takes lots of practice to get good at this, so just try your best. Come to this website, Kiwi Kids Cloud Guide, bookmark it, use it every day. And if you have any questions, send me a picture of the clouds and I'll help you. But you will want to refer to this frequently. So there's a table of contents and lots of stuff before you kind of get into it. You guys learned how clouds are formed through adiabatic cooling. Earlier in the year, you learned about the water cycle. All of that is a really great review, so please look through it. And then we have our three major types of clouds. We have cumulus clouds, which tend to be the lowest forming clouds. They look like the kind of cloud that little children draw on their pictures, right? Like a puffball. And generally they're associated with cold fronts. Then, oh wait, these are just cumulus type of clouds. I was thinking these were the three types. No, these are just three types of cumulus clouds. So cumulus clouds are formed generally from cold fronts. Standard cumulus clouds look like a child's drawing. Also cumulus clouds look like little puffy cotton ball thumbprints that are higher in the sky. And cirrocumulus clouds look like a lot of little speckling very high in the sky. Any type of cirrus cloud is going to be made of ice and pure white with no gray or dark shading. Whereas you're going to see gray shading on any type of cloud that's not cirrus usually. The second major type of cloud after the cumulus cloud is the stratus cloud. Whoa, this is not behaving. Low flying stratus clouds tend to be one color, kind of a solid wall in the sky, low flying, and they are associated with warm fronts. Stratocumulus does have some texture compared to stratus clouds, but generally also cover the majority of the sky. And then altostratus clouds are also kind of uniform, covering most or all of the sky, similar to stratus except they're higher. So stratus clouds will look like the ceiling of the world is really low and altostratus much higher. The only way to kind of learn to tell them apart is to practice. To view your clouds every day, twice a day, so that you can compare. And then cirrostratus clouds, sometimes they're invisible and you can't even see that they're there, but they will cause the sunlight to be diffuse and spread out. They're made of ice and they cover all or most of the sky, but you don't always see them. So we're not looking at this right here. We're looking at the thin haze of cloud you can barely see that's causing the sunlight to be diffused. Okay, precipitating clouds. So this root, NIM, in both words, nimbostratus and cumulonimbus, that is going to indicate a dark or precipitating cloud. Nimbostratus clouds rain with a slow, steady rain associated with a warm front, whereas cumulonimbus clouds tend to come with a cold front and rain heavily for a shorter duration. And they can even produce thunderstorms and even tornadoes. Cirrus clouds and contrails. These are always high in the atmosphere, made of ice. Wispy, thin, all white clouds. Contrails are man-made cirrus clouds that are produced from the exhaust of airplanes. Okay, so we'll start with our first of the three. So remember your three major types of cloud: cumulus, stratus, and cirrus. So standard cumulus clouds generally happen during the passage of a cold front when a cold air mass is moving in. Often on sunny days, they're puffy, individual cotton ball type clouds. Often you see a dark or gray bottom part to the cloud, and they're low in the sky and generally fairly large. Let's see, so you can read this and get familiar with the details of cumulus clouds. They're formed with water. They grow and change. let's see, altocumulus. So they're higher in the sky. They look smaller, like little thumbprints in the sky, like a flock of sheep even. They're generally shaded with gray, not pure white. And altocumulus clouds are mostly made of water and are generally a signal of wet or rainy weather. Lenticular clouds, which you should definitely Google, look like space ships, like UFOs, and they are a type of altocumulus cloud. And then cirrocumulus, high spotted, pure white ice crystal clouds. You can see they look like teeny tiny shreds of cotton balls in this situation, or even you can see here it looks like almost like the bones of a fish. They call that mackerel sky. That's a type of cirrocumulus. This is when upper atmosphere is unstable, and fair but cold days bring a lot of cirrocumulus clouds. If you also see cirrus clouds, you can expect bad weather potentially. You'll learn it's very challenging to predict the weather, but these are just some indications you can look for to help you. But it takes a lot of experience and practice and knowledge beyond what we're going to get this year to be good at predicting weather. Stratus clouds are our second of the major types of cloud. They are associated with warm fronts. They often cover all or most of the sky and are very uniform looking with no noticeable texture. Fog, mist, and haze are type of stratus clouds, and they produce slow, steady rain. So stratus clouds tend to be low. If they're dark and precipitating, they're also called nimbostratus clouds. Stratocumulus clouds, if you see that most or all of the sky is covered with low clouds that are not individual, but there is texture, you're probably looking at stratocumulus clouds. So stratocumulus, you can see in this picture, it looks like these almost were cumulus clouds and are now like kind of coming together and starting to become stratocumulus clouds, which can happen. See, they're formed through either the spreading and joining of cumulus clouds or the breaking up of stratus clouds. So weather is shifting oftentimes when you see stratocumulus clouds. So in this case, where they're going from cumulus to stratocumulus, I would think that's going to be more likely that the weather is going to become more overcast, and opposite, it would become more clear. Altostratus, also the sky is pretty uniform gray, but much higher than stratus clouds, and sometimes a lighter gray color than plain stratus clouds. They're smooth, they cover most of the sky. One of the things about altostratus clouds that helps you identify them is that they are opaque enough that they do not allow you to create a shadow on the ground. So if you're able to see your shadow, it's probably not altostratus. Yeah, they're very opaque clouds that cover most of the sky. Generally, you can expect some rain when you're seeing altostratus clouds, because they often turn into nimbostratus clouds. Let's see, cirrostratus clouds. So these are high ice clouds. You can see how they look maybe sometimes streaky in the sky, or sometimes they're almost invisible and you can really only see them because they cause the sunlight to become diffuse or even with a halo around it. So check the sun when you're checking on clouds, because you may not see that there are any clouds in the sky, but there may actually be a complete layer of cirrostratus clouds all over the whole sky, like a veil. The sky might be a different color than just blue, and the sun will be very diffuse. You will be able to see your shadow, and the cirrostratus clouds generally indicate it's going to rain soon. Nimbostratus, dark, raining stratus, low-flying, generally stratus clouds. They bring a steady rain and are associated with a warm front. They do not cause thunderstorms. So if you are experiencing a thunderstorm, tornado, hail, anything like that, you're not looking at nimbostratus clouds. You're looking at cumulonimbus rain clouds. Nimbostratus clouds produce slow, steady, calm rain. Let's see. Or snow. Cumulus congestus clouds can be challenging to identify compared to cumulonimbus clouds, but generally cumulonimbus clouds cover most of the sky, whereas cumulus congestus clouds are very large and kind of cover, like, they're just like one cloud that's covering a lot of the sky. They can grow into cumulonimbus clouds. They can bring rain showers. Let's see. They often change quickly. Cumulonimbus clouds, these are thunder clouds or rain clouds often. But if it is hailing, thundering, tornado, lightning, anything like that, cumulonimbus clouds are the only type of cloud that are going to produce kind of exciting, violent rain and weather. They can tower so high that they reach the upper part of the troposphere, and you know that weather doesn't generally penetrate into the stratosphere, and so they will form kind of a flat top, like an anvil, when they reach the tropopause. So if a cloud is towering up really high in the atmosphere and looks like an anvil and is flat on top, it's probably a cumulonimbus cloud. They can bring, like I said, thunderstorms, tornadoes, that kind of thing. Cirrus clouds are very wispy. You can see the wispiness here. There's a lot of variety. They're all pure white with no gray or shading at all because they're completely made of ice and they're always very high in the atmosphere. Cirrus clouds, let's see, can indicate fair weather or sometimes quick changing weather. Contrails are a special kind of cirrus cloud that are man-made because of airplane exhaust. They're bright white and they're always a straight line because of the path of the airplane. They form on nice days and they can tell us a lot about the upper atmosphere. They only form if it's very humid in the upper atmosphere. And you can actually go read specifically about weather forecasting based on contrails because there's a lot more detail than we get here. But that is sort of advanced. It may actually help you with forecasting the weather in the end part of our long-term weather project, though, so you might want to check that out. Contrails, only occur when there's a lot of humidity in the upper atmosphere. So that's the end of that website. Please refer to it frequently as you are learning to identify clouds.